don't you tell me I am selfish just because I look out for myself. I've been happy, working hard, so I won't have to cry when I'm older. I could have done this or that. I remember when I used to. Don't do it cause it doesn't work. I'd rather tell her, shoot your shots. I did it, so I know you got this. We're all living what we manifest. You'll get your dreams, just do your best. So don't you tell.
Hey family, it's your girl, Copper Color Creations, and I am back. Family, how's everybody doing out there? When I say family, let me just say this. As long as you got love in your hearts and you are vibing high, no hate or jealousy in your heart or envy, no matter what color. You can be black, purple, blue, pink, fat, skinny, no matter what race you are. As long as you're vibing high and have love in your heart, then you are my family. How is everybody maintaining out there in a world so cold and full of chaos? I got some good energy. And I have a lot to talk about. The name of this video is Who Are My Ancestors? A perfect time for me to bring this one out. This is going to be the Negro Indian edition. We're going to talk about a couple things on this video, family, because I've been asking many for the longest, who are your ancestors? All right. Shout out to my ancestors and my spirit guides, my archangels, family. Activating that ancestral DNA is so important in this season. I can only stress it. I have been building this empire. Let me see. What have I been doing? I've been occupied building my legacy and getting my empire together, building it brick by brick, and just doing a lot of stuff. I got some soursop delivered, some star apples. So I was excited this weekend to receive that. And, just catching up on a lot of, updates. I see people are occupied and distracted with some things. We got the Pope, going to sleep at 88. 88. Ooh, that was very powerful. That activated me. 88. 88 infinity is my symbol. Okay. 8 is my number. That is my special number. I am a life path 8. So when I heard 88, I was like, uh-oh, is that activation for you? I was already activated, but that activated something else. And so with the Pope passing away, we all know, or for many that don't know, he was a false prophet. He was false. He was, not of the lights. I don't think the divine creator would be sending any messages to someone who is violating children. Okay? And so you will know them by the fruit they bear. So I don't want to spend any energy on that, but I do want to go over a couple things before I get started in this video. Family, while the whole world is distracted, and focused on the Sander boys, in the draft. At the same time, family, the pedophile list is being released. And, it's just no such thing as coincidences that when the whole world is focusing on who's being drafted and who's not, this Epstein list comes out. And I mean everybody. I'm not going to waste my energy on that situation, but everybody is on that list. That's all I'm gonna say. Okay, from royalty, so-called royal princes to presidents to politicians to celebrities. Okay, so between the Epstein list and P. Diddy, I think we are clear on what that business is about, and to each his own. I know that is not going to be the future moving forward. I know that I am not going to allow my children to be entertained by those individuals any longer. I'm going to at least enlighten them on the truth and let them decide, and I'm sure they'll choose always to do the right thing. We all hope and pray that our children make the right decisions, and we want them to have better role models, because this last these last couple generations, I'm just trying to figure out what's going on here. It's not working out so well. So we have to set a tone for the youth that, look at all your rappers are either dead or getting locked up for premeditated murder. Majority of your celebrities and your singers or stars, and the people that they look up to are being charged for pedophilia, messing with children, sex and human trafficking, stuff like that. That's not good. They're not good role models for our youth. And I don't see anyone speaking about the youth and what their plans are for the youth. We get so caught in a loop of, of doing certain things that we forget about the future. We have to realize that the children, that's growing up right now, that's who's going to shape our future. So we need to be putting our energy into the youth, and that's something that I really want to focus on, is connecting to the children, because like I said, these kids that's coming out right now, they have been here before, okay, and they are not playing any games. They are actually raising us. I see a lot of children raising their parents, literally. I mean, I'm around them so much and I see so much, and I'm like, these kids are literally like, they 7 to 8 year olds acting like 20 and 30-year-olds. Their mental, everything is advanced. So, that's a blessing, and it's a reason for that. And we need to focus on youth. I don't see anyone, I mean, when I say I don't see, and I'm not talking about sports, the NFL, because I do see a lot of people. Shout out to there are a couple guys I do know personally, Michael Robinson and Marshawn Lynch. They put their energy in helping the youth, and that's good to keep them out of trouble. But it's, life is just much more than, wanting to be a celebrity and a football player. And, we want to teach our kids to know who they are first, to know who they are, and to want and love themselves, and to want to operate out of their authentic, true selves. And that's the key there. And so, that's my focus, and that's what I want to do. I want to get with the youth and start some programs and just getting with them and setting the tone, because If we're breaking the cycle, then we are not allowing our children to adapt to the lies and deceit and betrayal that we were told. We need to tell them true history. We need to tell them how you're supposed to be living, at least, versus what we've been taught. What's very important is we need to tell our children who we truly are. Okay? All right, now let's get into this. Who we truly are. This video, for those out there, this video specifically, when I say who are my ancestors, I am speaking specifically, this video is specifically made for the so-called Afro-American, African-American, Black men here on American soil. Okay, so this particular video might not be for everyone, but hey, everyone is invited to listen. But I specifically want to speak to my brothers and sisters on American soil. Okay, I want to speak to those brothers and sisters who have grandparents that have told them they have Indian in them, not in them, but they are the Indian. Okay? I am speaking to those, okay, people. Star seeds, indigo babies, chosen, whatever you resonate with. I'm speaking to you. Okay? All right. Now, before I get started, no pun against the African man, the Jamaican man, the Ghanaian, the Sudanian, the Arabian, Italian, the Caucasian. Hey, I'm not racist, and I don't have any prejudice in my bone. This is coming out of pure truth, okay? Because like I said, the truth will set you free. And that's all we want. Okay, so, we're going to discuss some things. And like I said, some of us, so-called African American, we do have sub-Saharan African, some of us have Ghanaian, all right? We do have African mixed with us because there were African slaves that came over here, all right, to America to help build the new world, right along with the Irish, okay, and the Indian, all right, the Negro Indian, all right? So I'm not talking to you. If you know and you've done your genealogy, you went into the archives, you went to birth certificates, you spent, whatever time you needed to spend on knowing that you got African in your blood, I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to the ones that purely know that they are not African, okay? I'm talking to you, so-called Black man, so-called Black woman, all right? All right, let's get started. Now, I want to go over some visuals. I got some visuals, y'all. Yes, I do. And it's very important that I get these visuals out. Okay? Yes, it's very, very, very important. All right, so where do I want to start? Let's go. I want to start right here. All right, so I did post on my community page that, like I said, who are your ancestors? Okay? According to Africa, you are not one of them, family. No, they kicking you out along with the Jamaicans. Yes. All right. You can Google it, research it. The president of Africa said that we need visas just like, they need visas to come over here. They are not allowing, not even the Jamaican can go into Africa. So, I've been having some deep discussions with my African sister about, how the Arab man treats them and what they are told when they come over here. Okay? So let's talk about this. So, the Africans, when they come over here, they're told to stay away from the African American, that we're bad people, that we're lazy, we lie, we steal, and we cheat. Okay? Now, I've heard that before. Yeah, I've heard it, but I've heard it way too many times. Okay? And so I've heard it from other foreigners, that comes in through the immigration program. They are groomed and taught to stay away from us because we're bad, wicked, evil people. I wonder why. But anyways, so also the same way, that they played the Mexican man, making him think he was better than us, only to get deported. Okay? Now, I'm just going to say this because I know personally the Africans, they thought they were better. Okay? Yes, they thought, a lot of them when they came over here, did they listen to the peoples? Yes, they did. And they still believe it. Some of them do, some of them don't. Okay, but no matter how you look at it, they all got played. Okay? They all got played. All right? So, one thing I do know is, do you know that the parents, okay, of an African or a Jamaican they do not want their children to marry an African American, aka Negro black man, unless he is rich. Okay? All right? It's something they have against an African American. All right? And even if he rich, their parents still don't like him. All right? They actually plot on trapping an American man and getting him to invest in taking care of their broke villages. All right? And this is, look, this is not come from me. This is coming from a dear friend of mine, all right? That's Jamaican. One of them is Jamaican. I have a couple Jamaican friends, and I have a couple African friends, okay? And, and she so happens to be Sudanian. And, I've heard a lot of stories about how the Arab man it's 2025, using the Africans as slaves, serious slaves. And I did interview quite a few Arabians that their children, all their kids are by an African woman. So, and many of the Africans speak Arabic, and that is just a lot that I did not know, okay? Like I said, interviewing and talking to these people, I already knew a lot of these stories, and not from a book, from experience, family. Just by talking to people, I like to know, especially when I see Africans or foreigners, I want to know their story. I want to know, hey, what have you been told about us? Okay? What have you been told about us? All right? All skin folk are not kinfolk. All right? Shout out to my passport bros. All right? I have a message for you. All right? There is no birthright inheritance with a foreigner. Okay? It's a trap. All right. You will be struggling taking care of the whole village. All right. All right. So far, the ones that ran over there is running back here to America. Some even on fire, coming back with HIV, I hear. So, ladies and men out there, be careful. Yes, be careful because, you know, and I'm going to discuss this on my next video. We're going to talk about sex and celibacy and my journey, of course, is very important, ladies, that we talk about that. And because many don't want to talk about it, but I'm going to talk about it because, okay, now we have, family, a incurable STD. It's a flesh-eating STD. Research it, Google it. So yeah, it was released, and so yeah, it's time to talk about who we are connecting with. So I'm excited to discuss my celibacy journey. I decided, and a lot of ladies don't do this, which is so important. I urge you. It's been 3 years for me when I decided to come out of my 18-year relationship. I said, now I can do one or two things here. I can go back out in this dating scene, even though I had healed myself and I was content and I was, everything was cool. I was like, I think I want to heal my womb, find out who I truly am and what I truly like. So yeah, it's been 3 years, and, however long it takes for me to manifest my soulmate, someone that is God ordained, that the divine has brought to me, where my union is sacred and touched by the Creator and my ancestors, then until then, my journey continues. And I'm going to discuss that. And I'm going to discuss what I've been going through on that journey, how it started, what I've been going through, and how wonderful it is. Okay? to, people don't realize when you go celibate, you are healing. That's healing a lot of childhood trauma. That's part of your healing journey. A lot of people are not going to tell you. That is how you heal. Okay? That chakra, your sacral chakra, is very, very important because once again, that's how we create, we manifest through, yes, you can manifest with your soulmate through orgasms, but it has to be your soulmate. You have to be equally yoked. You have to be on the same frequency. So I'm going to discuss all of that. I'm excited to go over that and what I've learned and my 3-year journey. And I've met some people that have been 10 years, 20 years. I met it's a couple people in the NFL has been 5, 6, 10. So, it's a celibate community out here. And I think I'm going to, dive a little deeper in that and connect with my celibate community, because it's a lot of brothers and sisters out there that are celibate, okay? Celibate meaning they are not even thinking or lusting at all. They are connecting on a soul level, I think we are called sapiosexuals, where we connect with the mind, like a soul mindful connection before, lusting over the physical body. So yeah, I'm excited about that. But let me get back to this video, family, because I can ramble forever. But like I said, I put my genealogy workshop on the shelf, okay? But baby, I am about to revamp it and get it popping, okay? Because we have been lied to. Virginia passed 2 acts in 1682 that combined Native Americans and Africans into one category as Negroes and other slaves. Okay? All right. So, once again, who am I? Are we colored? Are we Afro, African American, copper color race, black, Negro, Aboriginal, Negros, de Terra, dos Indios? Why have we been renamed and reclassified more than any other race or creed on earth? Come on now, black man, black woman. We are very intelligent, okay? For those that are still asleep, hey, all it takes, we so intelligent, all it takes is to hear my voice and for me to say, hey, family, look at this. Question this. Go research this. That's all I'm doing. I want you to realize that all skin folk ain't kinfolk. Family, please excuse my visuals there. I tried to shrink them to make them clear, but I'm pretty sure many have saw these visuals. If not, you can Google them. In 1798 AD, here is a description of the American, and here is a description of the Africa. Okay? They got America and Africa. Two women, okay? Two women as the cover posts. All right? No pun to the male, but what I'm stating is, we are not them and they are not us. Let's go. Virginia passed two acts in 1682 that combined Native Americans and Africans into one category as Negroes and other slaves. Okay? Which one were you? Here we go. There's the Native American and there's the African. Which one were you? Huh? Which were you, family? All right, let's go. I got some good visuals today. Let's talk about it. All right. They called us an Aboriginal American, classified as a Black African American / freedman / Negro Indian, mulatto, and Afro-Latino. A Native American classified as red, white, Native, and Latino. All right, let's go. We got another visual. America in 1671. This is what America looked like 500 years ago, depicting Negro featured female as the, okay, wait. Let's back it up, family. So what I want you guys to research and realize or realize is that the mascot for America was a Negro featured female, Negro Indian, all right? Just let that sink in. The real American native to this land, all right? Okay, now, let's go. It's very important. My people need to know who their ancestors are because, Africa already told us we not Africa. For those that don't know, California is named after a Black queen named Khalifa, Queen Khalifa, a Negro Indian, okay? Not an African. Her ancestors were not African, okay? All right, okay. Now, let's go. Let's keep going. I got a couple more and then I'm done. They became you and you became African. Okay, we got American with the Mayans and the Incas. We got Europe over there and we got Asia. So for those that don't know, all right, for those that don't know, the melanatids being started all over the world. We got Black Asians or we got Black Europeans, okay? Just know this, all right? Like I said, we're going to talk about it. Let's talk about it. Let's look at these images. The fake versus the real. Iron Eyes Cody, both parents are native Italians. used as the face of American Aborigines, aka American Indians. The real Sioux chief, skin color, hair texture, and facial features concealed. Okay? So an Italian man is acting as a, that's crazy. I am so far done. I got a couple more I want to go over. If you Google the Webster's Dictionary, 1828 version, this is why they removed it from the American Dictionary. Google it, Webster's Dictionary, 1828, and type in American. Read that. I mean, what more evidence do we need, family? Okay? What more evidence do we need? Let me just say this, because my genealogy workshop is I'm going to uncover the truth, like I've been stating. We have been told that Africa is the cradle of civilization. That's where civilization began. But that's where the reason why in Africa, the reason why a lot of those scientists, they don't know where that blood came from, that alien blood, is because, those are a lot of hybrids over there. All right, family, we got to be careful. You got to look at those tribes over there. They're hybrids. All right, and so we have to be very, very careful. All right. Okay. So man told us that civilization began in Africa, and I'm putting my money on Ireland. Okay. All right. They want us to look the opposite way. Civilization began in Ireland. All right. Yes, I know. Many are like, what? Yes. According to my research, all right, everything, and I mean everything, began over in Ireland. Okay. Yes. With the Black Irish. But see, the reason why we don't know is because, they have basically gutted our ancestors out, the ones that built America on their back. They used them for what they need them for, and then tried to erase them from history and disconnect us from our ancestors. Okay. But, it's very important, family, disconnecting us from our indigenous roots and heritage by telling us our ancestors are African is just diabolical. Okay? So, we have been at war, family, for those that don't know. All right? Per my genealogy, and I'm going to repeat this and say this again. Okay? People ask me where I get all this information. Doing my genealogy, reading everything my ancestors went. I'm not, it's a never-ending story. Do you know how many ancestors we have? I mean, and I'm in the 1400s. Okay? I'm in the 1400s. So let's look at it like this. Okay? Because on this video, I just wanted to focus on the Negro Indian. All right? I just wanted to speak about what the Negro Indian have been through. I am going to discuss what the Black Irish man went through as well. Okay? The reason why I am discussing these two particular, because that's all I found in my genealogy. I'm up to the 1400s. I discovered nothing but Black Irish and Negro Indian. Okay? And so, hey, how you going to tell me who I am if you can't tell me who I am? How you going to tell me who I'm not if you can't tell me who I am? All right? So, yeah, per my genealogy, I discovered, all right, that Pocahontas was my auntie. All right? Yes. And that's, I'm part of the Potawatomi tribe from Virginia. All right. My grandfather, King Wahangalish. All right. I am part of a very royal bloodline. I'm aware of who my peoples are. Let me bring this picture up. This is me and my grandmother on my father's side, okay? My grandmother on my mother's side, that's all she spoke about. She knew exactly who she was. She knew she was the Negro Indian. Okay? Not only did they steal our ancestors' land, they stole our ancestors' existence, or they tried to. But it's always a curse breaker to come in and, you know, you know, get through and break some generational curses, family. So what I want everyone to realize is this. Just like they gave us, let me go back to this picture so you understand. Just like they gave us different names, Afro-American, Copper, the Indian, the Negro Indian, the so-called Egyptian, and the Irishmen, okay? The Irishmen, if you want the connections, what the Irish and the so-called Egyptian, Queen Scotia, the Pharaoh's daughter, the Queen of Ireland, go research that situation, and that'll have you connect some dots. Don't focus on the labels, okay? They could have called us anything, all right? They gave us Roman names. For instance, Cleopatra's real name, her Indian name was Matachana. Okay? So when reading and dissecting this, you have to go in with an open, deep sea mind. This is not surface level research. Okay? First of all, your genealogy is not going to be surface level. Okay? Like I said, according to my genealogy, we got Negro Indian and Black Irish in our bloodline. You got freckles, you got Irish in your blood. There's no way for you not to have Irish in your blood. I forgot what it's called, but what I do know is that when you think of an Irishman, you think of a Caucasian man with red hair. But no, we have a Black Irish, okay, that existed. All right. America knows exactly what they did to our ancestors, okay? All right. So we got two royal bloodlines, right, family? Two royal bloodlines. All right? I want you to think of it like that. We got two royal bloodlines, all right? The Irish and the Negro Indian, all right? So the so-called African American, AKA Negro Indian, have been at war between 1492 and 1775, okay? My Irish ancestors came over here in the 1700s, all right? We've been at war for almost 283 years, on and off, all right? We were bombed by 7 countries, all right? We were bombed, family, and we surrendered in 1775. They took our right to vote away from us, and they made the reservations for us. And if we did not comply and live on the reservation, then they categorized us as a Negro. Okay? Russia, 7 countries. Russia took Alaska. The Netherlands took Canada. The British and England took the East Coast. Italy took Texas up to the Gulf. France took New Orleans. Oh, excuse me. Shoot. Throat chakra. Woo-wee. All right, sorry, family. France took New Orleans. Spain came around and took the West, Argentina, Chile, and up. Family, we had resets. We had more than one reset. Okay? The last major reset, excuse me. The last major reset occurred between like the mid 1700s to the late 1800s. All right? So, 150 to 250 years ago, not to add the 1,000 years that they added. The reset, family, it wasn't just a war on disease. It was a global memory wipe, okay? An infrastructure repopulation, all right? And a narrative override telling his fake story using mud floods, wildfires, engineered natural disasters, selective rewriting of history to wipe and erase what came before. All right? The reset survivors, family, excuse me, they include orphans from 1854, family, to 1929. We had 200,000 kids come here by train and repopulate for the new world. Like I said, America knows what they did to Ireland, which was my ancestors. And if they were my ancestors, there were many of the so-called African-American ancestors as well that came over here, okay? Like I said, our ancestors were not slaves. They were prisoners of war, okay? A lot of them, a lot of our ancestors, were a victim of paper genocide. That's basically what it was. They just changed the names. I mean, look how many times Negro, black, color is before 1452, you was an Indian. Don't that sound suspicious? Our ancestors must have been some very powerful people that they did all of this to disconnect and hide our true ancestors from us. Like everybody else, the Africans, they got their ancestors. The Jamaicans, well, the Jamaican, it's two different types of Jamaican. We got the Jamaican with the sub-Saharan African in them, okay? And then we got the Jamaican, they got the European, the let me see what they got in them. They have Asian, they got Asian in them. They have some Indian in them. They have the European man in them. Yeah, a lot of those Jamaicans are hybrids. They're mixed with a lot of different races. All right? So, they know who their ancestors are. They know what they're mixed with, But many of us don't even know who our ancestors are. For those running around in dashikis talking about their ancestors are African, Ghanaian, or Jamaican, In reality, their ancestors are the Negro Indian, and their bodies are mummified, stuck in these museums because nobody's claiming them because we don't know who our ancestors are. I mean, think about it. I've been warning many, but instead of doing the work and finding out who their ancestors are, they just disregard it like it's not important. If only they knew, family. It's very important. You were lied to, point blank, period. Now, my question is, what are you going to do about it? What are we going to do? Please, family, please find out who you are, where you come from, so you know where you are going. I mean, don't get me wrong. The dashikis is cool to wear. I got a couple of them. I rocks them. But we need to be honoring our true ancestors and connecting to our ancestral lands. After all, they said life originated out of Africa, just not our life. Okay? The true motherland is not Africa. The true motherland was raped, which was Ireland. That's Big Mama land. Ireland was raped, and many of our ancestors were the Black Irish. Okay? Let me just say this. Ireland in America has more periods than any other landmass in this world. Okay? Number one. And they try to hide it from us. Over here in Arizona, for instance, South Mountain, one of my favorite mountains that I frequent hiking there, that was one of my go-to mountains every day, has now been shut down because one of the hikers witnessed a giant. And then after he witnessed a giant, he witnessed the giant go in a giant door into the mountain. And then after that, he discovered a sphinx on South Mountain in Phoenix, Arizona. And so now, all of a sudden, the mountain is shut down. Okay? So, we need to understand what's going on out here. All right? Now, the news is not going to report anything, but TikTok did. All right? Social media reported it. All right? Make it make sense. All right? So for those that do not understand why we do not have a connection to our true ancestors and know who we are, because it was designed to be this way, okay? All right? And it's designed for you to stand on business, wake the F up and find your ancestors and connect to them. That is the design plan. Your birthright inheritance is your destiny, okay? On this realm, on this training realm, this is your destiny, all right, that you are going for, all right? You can let someone else take it or you can fight for it. Is it for the weak? No, it is not for the weak. All right. Now, why don't we know who our ancestors are? They were gutted out. They changed our last names. They did a lot of evil things, okay? Now, who are they? Number one, let's talk about who they are. The Vatican is number one. The Vatican has books, tablets, scrolls, resources, everything connecting us to our ascension. Number two, the Smithsonian Institution. They have all of our ancestors' artifacts, okay? They are holding everything that they discover that connects us to our ancestral lands. And this is the reason why 47 is going after them with an executive order to release our ancestors' artifacts so we can connect with our ancestors and unravel true history. Okay? That's why we have no artifacts. That's why we don't know who we are. All right? Because this system is designed to keep our ancestors from us. All right? Why are they holding our ancestors' artifacts hostage? I don't know. The Smithsonian Institution has went so far that they have our ancestors' mummified bodies, okay? Our ancestors need proper burial. They have our ancestors' mummified bodies in the basements, okay, of these museums. Arizona, Tucson, Europe, modern day Egypt, the Netherlands. I can go on and on, okay? So we need to get our ancestors out of these museums, okay? Now that we know who our ancestors are, and for those that don't know, baby, you better find them, okay? Please do, like yesterday. It's very, very important right now in this season for you to unlock your ancestral DNA. Okay? I don't put my faith and trust in none of these jokers. So as far as 47 going after the Smithsonian, we shall see. Of course, we want to manifest that, but I don't let people play with my heartstrings like that. All right. The number one thing is to unlock ancestral DNA. That's very important. So important, family. All right. You want to connect to that superpower our ancestors possess, and it has been passed down to us. How can we tap in? We too busy thinking we're a foreigner and we from Africa. Family, we got to wake up. You're not black. All right. What is black? Stop registering for black. It's a trap. All right, family? It is a trap. Stop allowing. We need to. Where are the real leaders at? I'm on a search for the Red October, and what I mean by that is, where are the real leaders in our so-called African American, fleet? Where are they? Because we need to stand on business. Number one, stop calling us black. Okay? Black is a color of a crayon. Family. We need to stand on business when it comes to being called black. Because if you think about it, anybody can be a black man or a black woman. I'm living next to Indians that's racist as heck, but blacker than a belt. Okay? So that term black, that needs to be reclassified, not for us. Number one, we are the copper color creation. Let me tell you who we are. Let's get this straight. And we really need to stand on business. Who are we? Who are we? We are a native of America, originally applied to the Aboriginals, or copper-colored races that were found here by the Europeans, black Europeans, okay? Just so y'all know, don't get it messed up. But now applied to the descendants of Europeans born in America. We are the copper-colored races that were found here. Ain't nothing black about us. Now, I do know some black people that are actually, their skin color is black. That's who should be black. We're not black. So, family, we need to stand on business when it comes to, who we truly are. Instead of waking up and going to work and just living life like our ancestors don't exist, like we can't you know, our whole mission is to evolve, all right, and operate with the frequency of love and break these generational curses, all right? How are we doing that? By keeping the cycle going and the lies going, all right? How are we going to break any generational curses? How are we going to teach our children the right way if we do not know the truth? All right? So when it comes to me, family, like I said, I'm honoring both sides of my genealogy, which is a Negro Indian that was found here. My ancestors been here 12,000 years before anybody, African, European, Asian, anybody came on this soil. All right? And then my other side, my Irish ancestors, all right, from Ireland, came over here, volunteered to help build the new world. And they were promised 40 acres and a mule. When they got over here, now they were not slaves, honey. They were doctors, lawyers, apprentices. They had a whole royal life in Ireland. All right. They volunteered to come over here as servitude, so-called slaves, and work it off and build America, the buildings, the Capitol buildings that you see and everything that you see. Our ancestors built America on their back, blood, sweat, tears. Okay. All right. Our ancestors fought in all the revolutionary wars. All right. Our ancestors came over here and fought the wars with America. And what did America do? Ooh-wee. I'm just going to say this, family. America owes Ireland, Black Ireland, a very hefty debt. And they're very aware of that. They're just waiting for the descendants of those that were slaughtered and lied to and stolen from to wake up. But I'm here to say this, family. Hey, it's to a point now that we have no choice but to stand on business. Our ancestors are waiting for us to wake up. Okay? Hey, we love our African sisters and brothers. We love our Ghanaian brothers and sisters, Sudanian and our Jamaican brothers and sisters. But we are not them and they are not us. Okay? Okay now. Until next time, family. 1.
Discussing Indian blood. We're going to judge people by whether they have Indian blood, whether they're qualified to run a gaming casino or not?
That probably is me, absolutely. Because I'll tell you what, if you look at some of the reservations that you've approved, you, sir, in your great wisdom have approved, I will tell you right now, they don't look like Indians to me. And they don't look like the Indians. Now, maybe we say politically correct or not politically correct. They don't look like Indians to me, and they don't look like Indians to Indians. And a lot of people are laughing at it, and you're telling how tough it is, how rough it is to get approved.
You know, I think you're not supposed to say Indian either.
No way, really?
Yeah. I think you're supposed to call them African Americans.
Man, who the hell gonna break with my goddamn hell? Oh, shut the hell up, y'all. Goddamn. All right, y'all, when I count to 3, y'all beat the fuck out of me.
A lot that they are Indians. And
why don't they know?
Well, they've been told that they're African-American and that they came from Africa, but that they're really been here in the United States as Indians.
Guess how I'm feeling, Dumbo.
I will tell you right now, they don't look like Indians to me.
A left stroke just went viral.